welcome to the Opportunity Charter School. We are so excited for you to be joining us today for our virtual open house. My name is Ms. Vasquez, and I'm the admissions supervisor here at Opportunity Charter School. Just this morning. There we go. And I'm currently here in my office within the school building. I've been with Opportunity Charter School for the past 12 and a half years. And the reason why I stay here is because I truly believe in the mission and the vision that Opportunity Charter School was founded upon. So welcome. I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about our school. And if you have any questions, please do drop them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer them for you. So welcome. Now, the mission of Opportunity Charter School is that we provide struggling youth with a holistic approach to their education. So we help people academically, socially, and emotionally, and I'm going to break that down a little bit further. And what's beautiful is that we were founded back in 2004 by Mr. Goldberg, who was a special education teacher, and he believed that every child could be successful as long as they're given the tools to be successful. And that's the model that Opportunity Charter School was built upon. Specifically, we work with students that are struggling academically and that have IEPs, which is an individualized education plan, or receive special education services. We're truly the special education experts here at Opportunity Charter School. Now, our motto is learning beyond limits. Because of all of the systems that we have in place, the way that we help our students holistically, we know that all of our children can overcome those boundaries. And just give me 1 second. We have some other families that are joining us here within Zoom. So I'm going ahead and admitting them because you could either be tuning in live on our Facebook page, or you could be tuning in on our YouTube page, or you can actually join us directly in Zoom as well. My colleague, I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself. Her name is Ms. Coleman, and we'll be the two people that are working with you here at OCS throughout this enrollment process. You want to come over and say hi, Laura? She's coming right over.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm a school aide here at the Opportunity Charter School, and I am also alumni, class of 2011. I assist Ms. Vasquez in the admissions department. So, as she mentioned, I will be helping you with the enrollment process and any questions that you have about our school. And I am also the girls basketball coach as well.
Thank you. And for those that are with us live on Zoom, thank you so much for joining us. I just want you to know this is being streamed on Facebook and YouTube as well. Please drop any questions that you have within the chat. Laura will make sure to answer them, and I can also answer them for you as well. So Laura, if you could just welcome them in the chat. Okay, awesome. So let's keep going. I would love for you to drop in the chat if you're actually looking at Opportunity Charter School for our middle school or for our high school, because we are grades 6 through 12 here at OCS. And we're located at 240 West 113th Street between Adam Clayton Powell and Frederick Douglass. As far as transportation is concerned, the easiest way to get here would be to take the BC 2 or 3 trains to 110 or 116, because we're literally located right in the middle. And when it comes to transportation, we do provide our students with a Metro card, or if your child has an IEP and they already have busing on it, they actually are provided busing while they're attending OCS, which is really nice as well. So as Opportunity Charter School, we are authorized by the Department of Education. And as far as our school calendar is concerned, we do follow the DOE calendar as much as possible. So as far as like the first day of school, last month when we had winter recess, next month when we have spring break, we're following the DOE calendar exactly, even though charter schools do have the flexibility to change those dates around. We are a small school. We serve about 420 students between grades 6 through 12. So this is the kind of school where everyone is going to know your child. We have a 5 student to 1 staff ratio because we have that many staff members here, and I'm going to talk about that very shortly on what makes OCS so special and the type of support we have here for our students. About 97% are African American or Hispanic, and more than 63% of our students have an IEP. Now, they're not labeled, no one knows who has an IEP because this is a very inclusive environment, but more than 63% of our population does. And our graduation rates were 92% and 89% for students that had an IEP last year. A couple of other quick facts for you to know before we get into the meat and potatoes about Opportunity Charter School is that our classes run Monday through Friday. On Wednesdays, our students have a half day. So they're in school from 8 to 12 on Wednesdays, and then they're dismissed, or they can stay for our after-school programs. And that is so that the teachers have time for professional development and also grade team meetings. So it's really nice that each grade gets together and they talk about like how the students are doing, any concerns that they may have. This helps to identify, absences or any sort of struggling academically, which helps us notify the families. Otherwise, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is at 8 a.m. to about 3 p.m. and then after school starts. After school can include anything from tutoring to athletics, which we'll talk about a little later. And there is one lunch period per day. Our middle school goes to lunch all together, and our high school is separate. They go to lunch at a completely separate time. Although we do share the building with 2 other schools, the other 2 schools are elementary schools, which is Harlem Success, and then our DOE school, which is STEM. So we're actually the big kids here in the building, but we have separate entrances. We do share the auditorium, the cafeteria, and the gym, but because we have separate staircases, we honestly do not run into the other students. And we do use a system called Teacher Ease, which is our student database system. And we invite all of our parents. We are provided a login so you can track your child's grades, your child's attendance, communicate with the teachers, see any missing homework assignments. And we encourage our parents to be active participants and, check in on Teacher Ease at least, once a week or once a month so you can monitor how your child is doing and communicate with. If you have any questions so far, please feel free to drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments, and Ms. Coleman will be assisting in answering those, or she'll provide me with ones that you want me to answer here. Now, we are a uniform school. You will see displayed our middle school uniform, which is actually this type of shirt. I'm actually wearing a high school uniform shirt today. For middle school, this would be wine color, like a burgundy maroon, and then the bottom would be khaki. And for our high school, it's gray, black, or white. Now, it doesn't need to be purchased from the uniform company. You can actually buy the patch and iron or sew it on, or as long as your child has the school colors, that's really what we need. Book bags and foot gear, any color book bag is fine. Any foot gear is fine as long as they're not wearing slippers. Any color sneakers and things like that. And then, so back to high school for 1 second. They also have the option of black or gray bottoms. So the top is black, gray, or white. Black, gray bottoms. Middle school is wine color top and burgundy bottoms. Now, my favorite part is what makes OCS so special and what makes us so different. And that is literally our support system that we have for our students. So we have a comprehensive clinical service where each of our grades have their own social worker. What's really nice about that is if your child joins us in 6th grade or 9th grade, that's their same social worker in 7th grade, in 8th grade, all the way till 12th grade if they're here with us. And then that social worker goes back down to 6th grade. So what this means for you as a parent is your child is truly known very well by that social worker. It's a great point of contact, and you as a parent also have that point of contact. So let's just say, for example, you may think, oh, my child doesn't need a social worker or my child doesn't need therapy. But it's beyond that. It's where, let's say at home, you're moving, or there's a big transition, or there's been a death in the family, or you notice a change in your child's behavior and you're concerned. You can call the social worker to check on your child to see what it is that is going on. And that's really nice. And one of the beautiful things that I mentioned before is that it's the same person throughout their entire career. So they truly get to know your child and they're truly invested in your child's success. Now, if your child has an IEP or struggles academically, we do have a team of learning specialists that are focused on ensuring that your child is receiving all of the services required on the IEP. And lastly, we have a school culture team. And there's a school culture member per grade. So if you were to visit Opportunity Charter School during the day, you would see them stationed out in the hallways, at both ends and in the middle. And they're there to make sure that the students have bathroom passes, that they stay in class. And let's just say that a student is being disruptive in class and the teacher is not able to redirect them, that school culture team member can pull the child out of class and see exactly what it is that's going on. This has two benefits. The first benefit is school instruction can continue, so the class is not disturbed. And the second is we're finding out what is it that's going on with the child. For example, a child can act out because they didn't have breakfast, they can't see the board, they don't understand the material, something horrible happened at home. I mean, there's a variety of things. We understand as adults how that works. So what's nice is that the school culture team member will talk to the student and figure out what it is. If they didn't have breakfast, they'll feed them. If it's something emotional, they may direct them to the social worker. If it's something academic, they may direct them to the learning specialist. Or if it's just, they're not feeling well, whatever the case may be, so that that child can then get the services and the help that they need to go back to class and to be successful. And so that's why I say we have the whole student approach with the academic, the social, and emotional for your student to be successful here. Any questions, just continue to drop them in the chat. Now, I want to speak specifically about our students that struggle academically or that have individualized education plan, which is an IEP, and receive special education services. So we have all of the related services provided here in-house: speech and language, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and counseling. In addition, if your child has self-contained classes, which is 12 to 1 in middle school, that's 12 students to 1 teacher. We have that in ELA and in mathematics. And then in high school, we have 15 to 1, 15 students to 1 teacher in ELA and mathematics. Their other subjects will be ICT classes, which is integrative collaborative teaching classes where there's 2 teachers, a general education teacher and a special education teacher or a teacher and teaching assistant. So there's lots of support for our students that have IEPs. In addition, I mentioned the busing, if your child already has busing on the IEP, and the counseling. So what is another perk that's really nice, sorry, my office is in the main office. Another really nice perk is that, I lost my train of thought. Give me 1 second. Let's talk about busing. Oh, yes, the annual IEP meeting. So if you're familiar with your child's IEP, right in the top section, there's 2 dates, like the start date and the end date. At the end date, that means it's time for your child to have their annual IEP meeting. We actually host those here in-house at Opportunity Charter School, and we have our parent attend, and we encourage our student to attend. And the reason why the student is because we want them to learn what their services are and be able to advocate for themselves. This will help them here at school in case anything needs to be changed or adjusted. We have the learning specialist, and then a representative from the Committee of Special Education comes to attend as well. That's another really nice thing we do at OCS. Now, college and career readiness. We do have a guidance counselor. Her name is Miss Finger, and we have an excellent Microsoft Office certification program, which helps to teach our students how to be proficient in Excel and Word and PowerPoint. When they finish the course, they take an exam to receive that certification. This looks excellent on their resume in the event that they are applying to a job, that they may be interested in administrative. This is great office skills for them to have. We also have a variety of internship programs that begin as early as middle school. So a student needs to be 14 in order to get their working papers, and we have partnerships with different organizations within the neighborhood. So if your child is interested in a career in music or art or anything like that, they would talk to our social work. They would talk to our guidance counselor, who will match them with an internship. And this happens, anywhere from when they're 14 to get their working papers and beyond. This way, they can have that hands-on experience. It also looks great on their resume when they're applying to colleges that they have been in these internships and have real-world experience. Now, if your child is interested in medicine, we have a partnership with the geriatric care development. This is actually a 3-year commitment. Now, what's so beautiful about this program is if your child is interested in medicine, they get hands-on experience at a geriatric home, which is a senior citizen's home. This program teaches them how to care for the individuals at the home, teach them phlebotomy, and they also provide a stipend when your child is participating, as well as Metro cards and tutoring and help with SAT prep. And when they graduate the program with a certificate as a nurse's assistant. So they can go ahead and go into that world of work if that's where they want to go, or continue their education in medicine. We have AP classes, and lastly, our partnership we have with College Now is where, depending on your students' grades and their PSAT and their English course, they can qualify to participate in College Now. These are college-level classes taken as a high school student. So they're given the college ID, and pre-COVID, they would go and attend in person, which is really, really nice. And this, again, saves on tuition, and this gets them graduating earlier from college. Now, as far as high school graduation requirements and college enrollment, we do follow the New York State standards of 44 credits to graduate and 5 Regents exams. Our high school guidance counselor, Ms. Finger, she has a spreadsheet in which she tracks our students' grades. As early as 9th grade when they come, she explains the track for them to graduate, what classes they need, when they're going to be taking it. As a parent, this is shared with you during parent-teacher conference. You can always ask to be updated. And let's say that the child needs help over the summer. We do offer some credit recovery classes. So, for example, let's say in 9th grade, your child is taking algebra. It's broken up into algebra 1A and algebra 1B. If they do not pass algebra 1A, they can potentially take it over the summer and still be on track to graduate on time. Some of the post-secondary colleges that our students have attended have been anything from SUNY to CUNY, 4-year to 2-year, Syracuse University, SUNY Blackboard, LaGuardia Community College, etc. So now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Ms. Coleman, so she can tell you about sports and our after-school programs.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Hi, so a part of our after-school program consists of 2 things, which is our athletic and our enrichment side. So I'll talk about the athletic side first. So we do offer after-school from late September all the way until June. And sports start as early as the fall season, so this is around November. So what we offer in the fall is track and field and flag football. And then once we get into the winter, we do offer basketball, girls basketball, middle school basketball, junior varsity, and varsity basketball. Right now, we're wrapping up on our basketball season with all teams. Currently, our varsity boys team is doing phenomenally. They have their first playoff game this Saturday. My girls actually do have a home game today, which is wrapping up the season for them. They've been undefeated, so I'm happy about that. And middle school, they also made playoffs, but unfortunately they were knocked out of the first round. So it's definitely a big improvement from before COVID. So we're really proud of them. And now we're getting into the spring sports, which consists of baseball, softball, volleyball, and we're introducing co-ed volleyball this year for both our boys and girls to play together. So that's really cool. Also, something we did in the past before COVID for our high school students is offer a snowboarding program where they will go up once a week upstate to learn how to snowboard. So this is really is what we're about with the Opportunity Charter School, because we want to give as much exposure as possible to our students, especially to new things, as most of us are, raised in inner cities, and we don't have always the resources to experience things outside of what we have here. So that is our after school program, and we also do encourage our students at all times, if they have a sport that they're interested in, to definitely let one of the coaches or PE teachers know, for me to start an interest group, and then hopefully make it a team sport. And then on the flip side of our athletics is our enrichment side that we offer students. So this consists of homework help. When teachers do have office hours, they can go to them with help on a project or homework that they have. We offer anime club, household science, which is basically kids will have the opportunity to learn how to make things that they can use at home using baking soda, just normal things you'll find around the household. We have video game coding club. We have photography as well. So those are things that we do offer in our after school program that a lot of our kids who do participate is interested in.
Thank you, Laura.
No problem.
Again, drop your questions in the chat. Laura is going back into the chat to answer them for you. Now, let's talk about, how do I get my child into Opportunity Charter School? How do I apply? So she's going to drop the link so that you can apply, which is www.ocsny.org for Opportunity Charter School in New York. And if you go to admissions, apply now. What's great is that because we're a charter school, we don't look at anything. No, we don't look at the grades. We don't look at attendance. All you need to do is fill out the application, and that's it. Kind of like set it and forget it. The application is due by Friday, April 1st, so I encourage you to just apply. Excuse me?
I have a question. I want to answer.
Okay. Laura had a question she wants to answer.
Sorry, so I'm in the chat. So to answer your question, Ms. Diana, if you have a cousin of one of your children that you've set the application in for, unfortunately, it wouldn't count as a sibling, because unless they do live with you and you are their guardian, it would count as a sibling to that student you also submit an application for. But if they're cousins who have two different guardians, then it wouldn't necessarily count as a sibling preference. So I just wanted to let you know. But Ms. Vasquez is kind of going to go into that a little bit, so I just wanted to answer that question for you.
Thank you. So you just fill out the application. Is due by Friday, April 1st, and then our lottery is taking place on Thursday, April 7th. We are accepting students in each of our grades, so that's 6th grade through 12th grade. The majority of our students that come in middle school do tend to stay with us in high school. Now, the way that the lottery works is, let's just say we are doing 9th grade, for example. And in 9th grade, we have 30 seats. So we're going to send out the acceptance via text message, via phone call, and via mail, letting you know that your child has been accepted, and we are requiring enrollment documents to secure your child's seat, okay? This is very important. Just because your child is accepted does not mean that they are enrolled. We need that information so we can add them to our student database, so we can make their schedules and prepare for them in September. There have been instances where parents have been accepted in April, and then their child shows up in September. It doesn't work that way at the charter school. We actually need your child's birth certificate, immunization records, physical, report card, certain proof of address. We need those documents to be able to enroll your child to secure their seat. So if we're accepting 30 students, and out of those 30, 15 families get back to us within those first 2 weeks, then now we're going to go down the wait list to the next 15. If out of those 15, only 5 do, we're going to go down the wait list to the next 10. So I say this because if your child is waitlisted, I do not want you to feel as if it's hopeless, because we definitely use our wait list up until our seats are completely filled and we are prepared for classes in September. So with that said, We do encourage you to follow us on social media. If you actually go to our Facebook page, I just did a lunch and learn with our middle school principal, Miss Chandler, who's been here for the past 13 years, and you can find that on YouTube or on our Facebook page. And then for parents that speak Spanish at 1 o'clock, I'll be talking to our high school assistant principal. Now, are there any questions that I can answer while I am here in person? Some frequent questions we get asked about is transportation. I'll just repeat it again. Your child is provided a Metro card unless they specifically have busing on their IEP. For our parents that are here, for middle school students, you may be concerned about your child traveling. Now, the majority of our students do come from Uptown and the Bronx. And what's nice is being that they're in uniform, they actually recognize each other in the mornings and, get to know each other and look out for each other when they are traveling. We also have our school culture team member that I mentioned before that greets our students outside when they first get here, and also at dismissal, they're outside ensuring that the students leave. The uniform, the options are you can either purchase it from the uniform company, you can either just buy a polo or a button down in the school colors and get the patch from our parent organizer, and you can iron it or sew it on. And the last option is to wear the school colors. Any other questions? Well, then the last thing I'm going to say is we encourage you to apply for the upcoming school year on our website, www.ocsny.org. Laura will go ahead and drop it in the chat. I will be assisting you, and so will Ms. Coleman that you met. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call. We are planning to have an in-person open house at the end of the month. Once we receive official word, we will be sharing that information, and you'll actually be able to meet our administrators, our principals, meet us in person, learn more about the school. So we're super excited about that because we haven't had any in-person activities just yet. Everything has been virtual. Okay, and then the last thing I want to say is Opportunity Charter School truly is a family. When your child's in school, they're in school for the majority of the time, and you want to make sure that your child is somewhere where they feel safe, where they feel comfortable, where their needs are met. And that is definitely here with us through our holistic approach of academic, social, and emotional. Our graduation rates exceed the New York State standard, and we're truly invested in our students' success even beyond graduation. Many of our alumni come back and visit, and we help them, while they're in college and beyond, because we're such a close-knit family while we're here. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, please contact us at the Opportunity Charter School and go visit our